The Datalogger is a time-saving tool essential for any technician which aims at automating the process of taking measurements of several channels or frequencies at several physical points of measurement for certification of any TV signal distribution installation. We will need to choose first which frequency band we are going to take measurements over. In our case, we will select terrestrial band. In order to create a new Datalogger, we will press F3, select Datalogger, and then select New. The Datalogger wizard will pop up, guiding you through the creation of this Datalogger file. We will press F4 next. Write the Datalogger file name and press F4 next again. Select the terrestrial channel plan over which we want to take the measurements. In our case, terrestrial channel test. We will press F4 next again. If we want to take measurements on satellite channel plans as well, we will need to select them here as well. Otherwise, we just press on next again. In the following window, we can set up whether we want to capture the service list along with all the measurements for each channel tuned during the Datalogger process, and whether we want the Datalogger to pause before changing from one channel plan to another. And finally, we have the option of adding attenuation tests for both terrestrial and satellite bands. For more information on the attenuation test feature, please visit our video covering that feature. Once all of this is set up, we will need to press Next and End in the following screen. The idea is to create as many test points as physical points we need to take measurements in the installation we are going to certify. We will leave the first test point name as TP01 in our case. If we now press F1 Start, the meter will start taking measurements across all the channels included in the channel plan selected. For each channel, all the measurements will be stored: power level, carrier to noise, MER, pre-BR, post-BR, link margin, etc., depending on whether the channel is analog or digital. Once this process is finished, a preview will be displayed to us on screen with some of this information showing. In red we can see those channels which are either analog or digital, but their power level were too low to be demodulated, and therefore only power level and carrier to noise measurements were taken. Date and time when this test point was measured are stored as well. Now we can move on to the following point of measurement in the installation. Create a new test point and repeat the process. If we press F4, we will see the Datalogger settings. Create New will create another test point. Jump to will allow us to move from one test point to another. Delete Current will delete the active test point. Delete All will delete all test points within the Datalogger. Once the Datalogger process is finished, we will have at our disposal a file including all the measurements for all the channels belonging to the channel plan selected, for as many test points as needed, accompanied by the date and time when the measures were taken, all of it in an organized and neat format. You can check any previously stored Datalogger by pressing F3, selecting Datalogger, and the Datalogger file name.